Alright guys, so I'm coming here with another video on a commander deck that I've made. Since people have liked the last commander deck I made, seem to have liked it anyway. This one is going to be on Codie, the Vociferous Codex. In other words, the way I like to name this deck is Tome of the Maze. So you can see right away you can't cast permanent spells. I thought this would be pretty cool if I just removed permanent spells altogether. So you can just pay for, add 1 mana of every color, and the next spell you cast lets you exile cards until you find another spell to cast that's costs less, and you can cast it without paying its mana cost. So it gives you a free spell. It's pretty cool. As I was making this video, I realized that there was a way to improve on the deck, so I'm going to put all the improvements I would make at the end of the video in the possible inclusions section, because I'm probably going to put most of those inclusions into the deck and replace a bunch of other cards. So basically the way this deck is going to work is we're going to use Maze's End mainly. Our win condition is it's a gate deck. We're going to get as many gates as we can onto the field. And if this doesn't work, if somebody somehow removes your Maze's End and you can't get it back, there's also an Approach to the Second Sun, just for a secondary win condition. Deeper down into the deck, you'll see I'll point out a third win condition if the game goes on long enough, but it's not very reliable because it depends on everyone's life total. So we'll get there. First we'll start with how to get there. It's just gonna be searching for gates. All these cards that search for land, and we're just going to put as many gates as we can onto the field as quickly as we can. How to get there continued is draw, lots of draw, and also there's going to be lots of these cards that let you play an additional land, like Urban Evolution here. For now, all these ones are just for drawn land, and then there's like Reshape the Earth will let you just win. Basically, Reshape the Earth is the best way to win the game if you have that much mana, which is entirely possible. Escape Shift also, you can just sacrifice the lands that aren't gates and search for more gates. And then Crop Rotation is another search for a land. And then the next section is going to be how to get there faster, and these are all just play additional lands. I like these ones that you can, like Broken Bond, you can destroy target artifact or enchantment, and then you can put a land on your field so you can like disrupt your opponent. These draw cards, draw, and then put a land. Those ones are good. Atarka's Command is coming in handy sometimes, but mostly it's just there to put a land onto the field. The rest of these are all just like, yeah, put lands down. Yeah, that's that. And then we got the defense here. A lot of this is just board wipes. This is the third win condition, Debt to the Deathless. Each opponent loses 2 times X life, and you gain life equal to life lost this way. If their life is low enough, you can just end the game with that card. But it's not very reliable because you need to have opponents with low life, which this deck doesn't really lower their life that much. So you would be reliant on the game that you're playing. A lot of these are just board wipes. You got your Labyrinths and Maze of Ith type cards. That's where Tome of the Maze, the title that I gave the deck, came from, is because I was like, I really liked these maze land cards. And then you got your fog effects, Blessed Respite. You can shuffle your graveyard into your library and prevent all combat damage. Channel Harm, Deflecting Palm. All these ones are just for making sure combat doesn't really happen too much if they attack you. These are the really bad ones to get with this ability of Codie. You don't want to accidentally... Well, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you're actually going to get a fog, and that's going to be pretty bad. But the rest of these are all actually pretty good. Turnabout is another bad one to get with Codie's ability. But yeah, fog, Maze of Ith effects, and board wipes. And then Bituminous Blast is just a damage spell with Cascade, so this one you can actually get 2 free spells with when you cast it. You get the Cascade effect and you get Codie's effect, which is actually really good. And then you got the support. So if somebody steals your commander or steals, I would save deny reality really if somebody steals your Maze's End, but also if they steal your commander, it could be useful to get deny reality as well. And then there's some tutors, some life gain with graveyard hate. A lot of these cards are just cards that work in the decks that I play against, because there's a lot of like very specific things that I put in there to disrupt the play group that I play against. You can mix and match and manage your own play group, whatever that happens to be. We got Dual Strike for copying spells, Mnemonic Deluge, and Mnemonic Betrayal. These are for more spell casting. Just, you gotta get those gates out there. And then we got the lands, all gates. Pretty much all gates. And then we got the Labyrinths and Labyrinth of Scophos, Maze of Ith, Mystifying Maze, Thespian Stage. And then we got the non-gate lands over here. Yeah, it's all gonna be gates. Currently I don't have the two newest gates. That would be Talon Gates of Madara and Planar Nexus. Planar Nexus doesn't say gate on the type line, but it is like every non-basic line type. So yeah, I'll be getting these as soon as I can, as soon as I'm able to. They're pretty expensive, so I was hoping they'd go down in price, but it doesn't look like they're going to anytime soon, so I might just get them as soon as I can here. But they'll be going in, and then the rest of these are all just gates for winning the game. The most important ones would be Gond Gate and Baldur's Gate. Those ones are really good. Those are the ones I would search for first. And maybe Basilisk Gate if you're facing somebody with like a lot of pump spells. You can start pumping your own commander. Alright, and then possible inclusions. Okay, so I'm going to go through the cards that I would take out and the cards that I'd put in. So I really like these multiple choice ones, especially with the ones counterspell, or the exile, destroy target artifact, exile target artifact or enchantment, and the ones that also like let you search for a land or draw. Okay, so Vesuva I should put in because that can be a gate. So I would take out probably Blightstep Pathway and I'd put Vesuva in, just to have another possible gate. And then all the multiple choice cards, what I'd do is I'd go up here to the draw spells, and I would take out all of these draw, scry and draw spells. Boon and the Wishgiver, Preordained, Scour, all possibilities, Tormenting Voice, and Wild Guess. I would keep Urban Evolution because it lets you play an additional land, but I would take out like Anticipate, Telling Time, Opt. Opt is pretty good. Maybe not Opt, I don't know. I'd have to think about that one for a while. So I'd take out all the card draw spells and I'd replace them with these multiple choice ones that let you draw cards as well. Even though they cost a bit more, this counter spells could really come in handy with more like able to defend your position better. And also like destroy target artifacts and enchantments, those can come in handy too. Flame of Anor does damage to a creature. And then if you accidentally get one of these with Codie's ability, you'll still be able to use them effectively. And that's how I would change the deck. That's the idea that I came up with as I was making this video, because I was thinking that these multiple choice cards would actually work in the deck really well, because it's kind of like a Cascade deck. And Cascade, I've had a Cascade deck that I built a long time ago. I took it apart since then, but the problem I had was that I couldn't really effectively use very many counter spells in it, and then I thought that these multiple choice ones would work really well because I had tried Mystic Confluence, and that's where the idea came from. Mystic Confluence in this deck is actually like a really good solid card to have in here, and it's come through on multiple occasions. So I decided to put more multiple choice cards in there because they're pretty badass and underrated. All right, and that's the deck. Just get all your gates out there, and you can adjust it to your own play group if you decide to build it, or if it gives you an idea on how to do better with your own decks. That'd be good too. It doesn't win a whole lot, but it wins sometimes, and it's a lot of fun to play. That's the most important part. Using Codie's ability is actually really cool to play with, especially when you know you can cast all the cards in your deck, because none of them are permanents. Another thing you could do is add more token generation, like just instant sorceries that create more tokens, and then use like a token deck kind of thing. Because I chose not to put any permanents in, I wouldn't put any like token doublers or anything like that, because I think most of those are permanents, so maybe it's a bit less effective. But if you need more creatures, then token generation is the way to go. This is the way that I built it, and this is the way that I would change it. So that's the video. I'll see you next time.